So you're planning a trip to Halloween Horror Nights. You already bought your tickets, you know what day you're going, you know what outfit you're gonna wear to the event, and you know which houses are at the top of your hype list. But while you're home, before you get to Universal, you check the app and you're seeing 120-minute waits, 180-minute waits, sometimes even longer than that. And all of a sudden, the scariest thing about Halloween Horror Nights isn't the houses or the scare zones, it's the crazy wait times. And on your one night to experience the event, you're probably wondering, am I gonna spend half of this night waiting in lines?
Now you can always shell out hundreds of dollars on Express Pass, which is very expensive and usually more than the cost of your actual ticket. So you have to be wondering, is there a better way to do this? And there is.
What if I told you there is a way to get a jump start on your night at Halloween Horror Nights, get a lot of the houses done, all without spending hundreds of dollars on an Express Pass? Before we go any further in this video, we have to talk about Stay and Scream. This is a way for guests to remain inside of Universal Studios Florida as they transition to Halloween Horror Nights, and the plus is that some of the houses open up early, so you'll be able to get in lines and get through a couple of the houses before the event even starts. This is our tried and true method to getting a lot done at HHN, especially if you don't want to spend the money on Express Pass.
So if you are an annual pass holder, you could get in early, or you could buy one of the Scream early passes for additional, I think like $65 it was this year, and that'll allow you to get into the park early.
And with getting into the park early, you might see some cool things like them setting up the props in the scare zones before the event actually starts.
So if you're an annual pass holder, you have to get into the park before 5 and then pick up a wristband. So we got ours over at VillainCon. So we're heading back near Freddy's and Horrors of the Wyatt Six because they're the houses that open the earliest at 5:15. So we are planning on knocking those out first.
So house number 1 for us during Stay and Scream is gonna be Horrors of the Wyatt Six. So Wyatt Six opened at 5:15. We got in line, it was 35 minutes. We actually ended up waiting only 15, so it was even shorter than the posted wait time.
So Jason is usually one of the longest waits in the park, usually over an hour or more. And that house opens at 6 o'clock, but you can get in line now, so we're gonna jump in line and see how long we wait.
All right, so we just got out of Jason Universe. This was actually your first time doing it the
Yeah.
whole season, believe it or not. And you were scared to do it, but what did you think?
It was scary, but it was fun. It was scary in a fun way. Like there was literally 8 million Jasons in there, and I feel like they all got me.
Yeah?
Like they popped out right in front of me every time. I was like, oh my God, when is this gonna end? But it was fun.
Yeah, and we only waited 15 minutes once the house opened. We had to wait about 10 to 12 minutes before 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
So we had to wait for the house to actually open. But once it did open, only waited 15 minutes. It was posted 35, so another shorter wait time.
Yeah.
It's 6:22. The event officially starts in 8 minutes. So I'm gonna see if we're gonna get one more house done.
Yeah.
Maybe like Fallout or Galkin. We'll check the app and see what has the shorter wait time, but I think we'll be able to squeeze one more in before the event officially starts. Now there's a lot of different strategies for Stay and Scream. A lot of people like to start in the back of the park and work their way up. But we wanted to get Jason out of the way because like Alex said before we went in the house, it's usually anywhere from 60 minutes all the way up to 180, sometimes 200 minutes. And if you want to do one of the big IPs, and you're not maybe the biggest Five Nights at Freddy's fan, and you're gonna skip that one during Stay and Scream, definitely do Jason because it has such a long wait throughout the night, and you're able to get it done really, really quick.
One of the other biggest IPs this year is Fallout, and it usually has a really long wait, but right now it's only posted at 15 minutes. So we're gonna go back there. We're also gonna try and knock out Galkin, which is posted at 10. So we might even be able to do 4 houses before the event even starts tonight. So it is now 7:30. We got out of those 2 houses, Galkin and Fallout. And so we ended up really basically doing 4 houses before, like, not really before the event started, but like we got in line before the event started, right?
Yeah, and we got in line for Galkin, I want to say it was like maybe 6:45, so slightly after the event started. I'll count that towards, our Stay and Scream houses, but we got 4 houses done.
Yeah, 4 houses done already, and now we're gonna take a quick break and get something to eat, and then we'll see what else we could get done. I know on the top of my list tonight, I do also want to see the show because I've only seen it once this whole season, which is kind of crazy. That's usually something that I do all the time, but it was kind of just like on the back end of our to-do list every time we've come. So I think we're gonna try and do that tonight, as well as maybe some other houses.
So that's what we did. We got those 4 houses done, but you need to come in with a strategy of your own because Stay and Scream goes fast, but if you plan it right and you prioritize the things that you want to see, you can easily get a couple of things done while you're here and before the event officially starts. So if you decide that you're going to purchase the Scream Early ticket, if you're not an annual pass holder, for the remainder of the season, it's $65. I'm assuming that's what it was for the beginning of the year as well. That gets you entry to Universal Studios starting at 3 p.m. on nights of Halloween Horror Nights. So you're getting 2 hours of park time ahead of closure. So you can even do some non-HHN things with that ticket. If you want to go ride a couple of rides, you can certainly do that. The thing that I recommend that you do is that you go get your wristband first, so that you have that. You don't have to deal with any of the lines as it gets a little bit closer to 5 o'clock, because that's when everyone is coming in for the most part and needs that wristband. And then from there, come up with a game plan on what you want to get out of Stay and Scream. Are you a big Five Nights at Freddy's fan? Do you want to do that immediately? If so, you need to go like queue up for that house as soon as they possibly let you, because that line reaches capacity during Stay and Scream, which is absolutely crazy. But if you're not really trying to tackle one of the big IPs, you can easily get multiple things done. You can start at the back of the park and work your way forward. However, those houses in the back open a little bit later than the ones in the front do. So if you're looking to do something right away, like right at 5 or 5:15 when the park officially closes, you'll be able to do like Wyatt 6, Terrifier opens at 5:30. Ones like Fallout and Galkin, those are a little bit later. They're like 5:45, I believe, if not 6 o'clock. And then the ones in the back are a little bit later than that. So there's a lot of different options, but you need to have a strategy so that you know what you're trying to tackle and where to go to first.
Now, in our opinion, between the hours of 8:30 and 11:30, that is like peak house time. Like the waits are usually over an hour or at least close to it. So I don't think it would be a good use of your time to do a lot of the houses during that time frame, unless of course some of them are lower. And that would be a good time to like soak in all of the other stuff. So take some time in the scare zones, maybe like do a little bit of people watching, take some pictures, enjoy like the scare actors and look at all like the details of their costumes and the set designs. Go to some of the food booths and try like a bunch of different snacks and drinks. There's so much to choose from. And if you want to like get a load off and like take a seat and maybe rest your feet a little bit, I would suggest going to see Nightmare Fuel or even the Lagoon Show too.
So you're probably wondering, if I'm not doing any houses during the peak times, when am I going to finish the rest of them? Well, something happens when the clock turns midnight, and that is the crowd levels thin out dramatically. A lot of the families head home, the early crowds are exhausted, and most people have had their fill of the event, but this is when our plan enters its final phase, the power hour. On most event nights, houses that have 120-minute waits at 9 o'clock might drop down to 20 or 30 minutes by the time it becomes 12:30 or 1 a.m. This is your time to strike, and strike hard, because you can easily knock out 3, sometimes more houses in that final hour to an hour and a half of the event. The last 60 to 90 minutes of HHN is filled with the hardcore HHN fans. So this is your chance to either do houses you haven't done yet, redo some of the favorite ones from earlier in the night, because some of the best waits of the night happen in the final moments of the event. So there you have it. We got a lot done utilizing Stay and Scream, and like I said, we're annual pass holders, so this was free for us to do. Obviously, we had to pay our way into Halloween Horror Nights with our frequent fear pass, but we didn't have to pay for the Scream Early ticket, and if you're an annual pass holder, that's the same case for you as well. And then like I mentioned earlier in the video, the Scream Early ticket is $65 this year. By the time you're watching this video, HHN is going to be basically wrapping up. So we'll see what the price increase is for 2026. But either way, you can get into the park starting at 3 o'clock. And as you saw, we were able to knock out a few houses basically within 2 hours.
Yeah, and we saw the show too.
Yeah.
So we always do recommend, if you can swing it, the Express Pass is definitely worth it. It is going to save you time, but it is very expensive. So we understand if you can't do it, this is another great option to allow you to see as many houses as you possibly can.
Yeah, and throughout the course of the season, if you're an Orlando local, I'm sure you're going to be taking advantage of Stay and Scream. We didn't have Express on our frequent fear this year, so Stay and Scream was a great way for us to make sure we got to get some of the higher profile houses done and out of the way. And yes, you do have to get to the park a little bit earlier than you would if you just had a regular Express Pass. But I do think this is a great alternative. So if you enjoyed this video and you found it helpful, So if you enjoyed this video and you found it helpful, make sure you give it a nice big thumbs up, and make sure you subscribe to the channel down below so you don't miss out on all of our future universal tips in videos to come. And with that being said, we'll see you guys real soon.